Hello and welcome everyone to the Entrepreneurship Sports Generation Asia Confederation Finals, and we're really delighted to have you all with us today. We have a very exciting leg of the tournament planned for the day, and let us start by telling you a tiny bit more about what ESG is. So we all know that over the next decade, we need to create over 1 billion jobs, and we need to ensure that we leave a better planet for the generations to come, as it is highlighted in the 17 UN Sustainable Development Goals. We believe that entrepreneurial initiatives are the solution for these pressing issues, and the ESG community, which is all of us involved, will help entrepreneurs grow and become global enterprises, creating a better future that we are all aspiring for. ESG is a flagship initiative of the Global Education and Leadership Foundation, TGALF for short. And at TGALF, we have been working for over the past decades to groom ethical and altruistic leadership globally. Through our entrepreneurial initiatives in the past several years, we have impacted more than 500,000 startups globally. And for the ESG, we have also put together a rewards basket, which is accessible for participants globally. Similarly to international sporting leagues, the ESG tournament has several tiers. And we are very glad to see all these diverse startups and all these diverse entrepreneurs representing your countries within the Asia Confederations today. We would also like to express our gratitude to our partners who have joined hands with us. And with that, let us start the movement and let us make entrepreneurship the new heartbeat for the world and build back better. So today we are very pleased to have 4 jury members who are experts in their own fields, and it's a pleasure and honor for me to introduce them. First of all, we have Taina Majitia. Taina is a legal consultant from the Ministry of Electronics and IT. Taina is a lawyer by profession and currently a legal consultant at the ministry. Post-graduation from law school, she was personally selected by the former Chief Justice of India to be his research assistant in the Apex Court, following which she joined the Chamber of Senior Counsel to learn the art of advocacy. She made a foray into consultancy with the Ministry of Commerce in the IPR domain, where she spent 2 years, and now on board with METI in the IP and startups on the IP and startups arena. Next, we also have with us Mr. Manish Johari, who is the Senior Vice President at Lead Angels. Mr. Manish Johari is helping angel investors find jewels in the startup ecosystem. And Sir has over 2 decades of experience in the startup ecosystem as an investor, strategic advisor, mentor, and board observer. He's a regular speaker and at industry events. Welcome, Sir. Next up, we also have Mr. Gautam Sivaramakrishnan, who is a director at Head Start Network Foundation. Gautam is the director at Head Start Network Foundation, India's largest network for startups, enabling the startup ecosystems across Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities since 2007, with presence across 25 cities in India, as well as international ecosystems such as Finland and Germany. He's also a CA by education and drives the venture capital and private equity ecosystems at Microsoft. And last but not least, we also have with us another jury member who is Mr. Satvir Singh, who is a founding partner at Riverwalk Holdings. Satvir has always been closely involved in the investment arm of his family business, the Tharkal Group. In 2013, Satvir spearheaded the group's foray into early stage investing to increase the group's exposure to technology lead solutions. Subsequently, he has also led 120 investments across geographies such as India, the US and Singapore. And he primarily focuses on deriving access to high quality deals, defining investment strategy, helping portfolio companies to scale globally using the group's network and management expertise. So thank you all to our experts who have joined us today. And further on, another quick couple comments before we begin. So as mentioned, you will have 3 minutes to pitch and 4 minutes for the question and answer session with our jury. You will be controlling your presentation yourself so that you could change your slides in your own time. And the 2 things that we would really request you for is to keep yourself on mute when you're not speaking, and request to have your cameras on if that is possible while presenting to ensure an interactive experience. And with that, we are extremely glad to begin our competition today. And our first participant in the first team that will be presenting would be Amel. Over to you, Team Amel.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me?
Actually, not very well, Rowan.
What about now?
Perhaps that is my issue, my network, but
so your voice is coming very feeble.
Yes, exactly, Rowan. It's not very well audible.
What about now?
It is way better now. So for our jury members, hopefully the same.
Okay. So ready whenever you are.
Sure, just requesting you to speak up a tiny bit so that everyone could hear well. Yeah, your time begins now.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm here to tell you how a Palestinian startup is disturbing the second largest industry in the world, construction. I'm Ruwan Alawi, CEO of Amel, where we are building visions with concrete decisions. Standing at $10 trillion, construction industry is massive, yet 98% of the projects overrunning the budget by 18%, and they are behind the schedule by 20 months on average. And one of the reasons is, as you can see from this chart, is actually labor productivity that has been lagging behind every other industry for the past 6 years. But why labor productivity is so important? You see, labor is also the largest but the least understood cost component in construction. Labor accounts for 50% of the total budget, but they are 35% productive instead of being 60 due to tons of documents and layers of communication. In other meanings, 32.5 of the total cost is lost due to labor unproductivity. And this is why we come up with Amal. At Amal, we want to increase this 35% into 60, the normal. And this way, we will be able to add $1.6 trillion annually to the construction industry. How are we doing this? The problem is very fragmented and complicated. So our solution is also very dynamic and inclusive to standardize this process. We have three main steps. First, we collect real-time data from everyone on site. We collect the time, the location, and the motion through Amal's application automatically. Then we analyze and transform this data into reports and customizable productivity dashboard. This way, everyone on the office will be able to have the same access to the same data, and they would be able to easily and quickly identify and quantify the losses and the gains, the drains and the loopholes of the projects. And this is how they can optimize their workforce. And all of that will cost the construction contractors $4 to $15 per month per worker, depends on the package that they select that fit them. It is a massive industry, and we were able to find that the total spent on IT solution and application software in construction is $12.4 billion, and total spent on, and this is and the bottom up, total spent on software application based on workforce construction is $9.7 billion. And this way, we will be able to generate more than $100 million within 6 years of our launch, just by targeting Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Egypt. Of course, we're not alone noticing this huge opportunity. We can compete against our local competitor, Wikicup, who provide a similar offering but as an IoT, which make them expensive to implement and lengthier to install. Internationally, Rimplex is leading the way, generating $17 million, but focused on the US market. Spelled and Sync, on the other hand, they have limited offering and local market focus. We started as a marketplace in Palestine, and within 6 months, we got 3,000 construction workers who were able to get $300,000 worth of jobs. Then COVID hit, and we wanted to explore a major focal point for construction, which is the Gulf countries. And over there, we noticed a huge problem related to labor productivity. We could not have achieved this without our team. Our team, Salam and I, we come from the industry as our family business. We have the know-how to scale. Thank you. This is how we are building vision and concrete decisions.
Thank you very much, Rowan. And now over to our jury members for the questions. Any questions from our jury members?
Yeah. What is your competitive advantage as against your your services? I'm like, why would a customer choose you? rather than your competitor?
Yeah. So first, we do have the first mover advantage in the Middle East and North Africa. And the only one that is in the Middle East and North Africa is actually Waking Up. They are an IoT company, so they are way more expensive than us because of the hardware. They are lengthier, so it takes you at least 2 months to have them at your location. And third, you have to and it's a privacy issue because you have to share your private budgeting and blueprint with them. For us, you really do not have to share anything. It's 2 weeks and your system is it's installed. And the third is just it's way cheaper.
Uh, Rowan, this is Gautam here. First of all, congratulations for coming all this way, and a very neat pitch. So my quick question, of course, I heard you say it just takes 2 weeks to go live, and in the software world, that is amazing. To even hear something takes just 2 weeks to go live. So what? My question to you is, why does it take only 2 weeks to go live? Right? Is it more of self-serve and less of solutioning that you have at each individual construction level? And who's your buyer? Is it the construction company? Is it someone else one level below who is going to be buying it?
Yeah, so we do have different persona. We do have the enterprise construction companies. This is our target for the next 3 years. We have the owners, we have the real estate, but for now, our main focus is construction companies. The construction companies, I'm sorry if I did understand your question. Like they are the main client. The second question was why it takes 2 weeks. So our solution is already we ask for customizable dashboards. So we only ask about the kind of shorts they want to see and the equation they want to see. And this is why it takes us around 2 weeks because we have the infrastructure already ready in our system. And the third question that we ask them, do they want to still use our own servers, which is AWS, or they want to set it up in their own local ones? And yeah, this is why it takes 2 weeks.
Any other questions? Right. So
just one final question, Katrina. So based on your pilot experiences that you've had, because I did see that you've been able to do some pilot in Saudi as well as Qatar. What has been the typical time taken or effort taken, for implementation? Because I'm assuming that it will also require some amount of effort from the workforce to who may at times may not be comfortable with technology. So how has the implementation learnings been for you?
Shockingly, the problem was not actually with the workers because the workers, turns out that all of them have smartphones, especially Android, and they're actually spending around 4 hours using WhatsApp, communicating with their families back home. The problem was actually with the construction companies themselves because the construction companies cannot start using a new software at the middle of the project. They need to start using us at the beginning of the project. So sometimes that would take around from 2 to 4 months to actually start using our system. And that's not a major problem, but this is like the construction nature.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rowan. Thank you to our jury members. Now over to our second participant for today, EWaste Social. Iram, over to you.
Yeah. So hello, everyone. Hope you can see my screen.
Yes, if you could just proceed to present mode, and then we'll begin.
Yeah, just 1 second. Yeah, hello everyone. My name is Iram and I'm co-founder of EWaste Social. We are a one-stop shop to provide solutions for your waste. So what we are looking at is all the electronic waste around us generated in our homes, offices, industries, and manufacturing unit, as well as the textile waste generated by the pre-manufacture, like the garment industry, and the post-manufacture, the consumer industry. So we are looking at an unorganized and a non-optimized sector. We have recyclers and refurbishers, but they exist in silos, and waste recycling and refurbishing is disconnected from the inventory management system, and waste disposal is also not linked to the social responsibility. So we have a one-stop solution for aggregation of waste, responsible waste management, carbon footprint reduction, certification and fulfillment of our of EPR and CSR through our platform. So through our platform, we have aggregator, marketplace, and an auction platform. We have AI and ML based electronic asset optimization and decision making through our intensive data, what we collect on our platform. We help corporates be compliant for their EPR and certification. We give them all the Form 6 and destruction certificate along with the sustainability and the impact report. We have also tied up with various institutions for R&D for the best practices in the waste management industry, which we pass it on to the recycler registered on our platform. We also help corporates achieve their CSR goal by ensuring that no waste goes into the landfill or into the hands of underage children for dismantling, as well as into the ocean once it reaches end of its life cycle. So this is a problem that we are looking at. India is the third largest producer of electronic waste, and India generates 5.2 million metric ton of e-waste. Currently, only 5% of waste is being recycled through the formal sector. Through our platform, we will be able to connect all this waste to the formal sector and ensure that it's being recycled appropriately. We are also looking at the recyclability of the cloth and textile waste, which is 95%, whereas only 25% gets recycled or upcycled. And according to the e-waste regulation, 70% of the electronic currently in circulation needs to get recycled by the year 2023, and only 10% targets have been met. So looking at our platform, we have a 3-step solution wherein a corporate, industry, or a manufacturer can create an auction event on our platform and the recycler and fix a reserve price. The recycler will get a notification and can start bidding for the auction. Once the corporate is comfortable with the bid, he can accept the bid or reject the bid. And once the bid is accepted, the deal is closed and the recycler is connected to the corporate to pick up the waste. And also we follow up and get the Form 6 and the destruction certificate, as well as we make a sustainability and an impact report of the impact that the corporate.
Apologies, I believe the time is up, unfortunately. Now let us proceed to the question and answer session.
Sure.
Hi, Ram.
Hi, Ram. Am I audible to you?
Yes, you are audible. Sorry, I couldn't see the timer, so I think I missed seeing the timer. And
no worries, no worries.
Yeah.
So just a quick question. I'm not clear. What would be your team strength?
So we are 12 of us. We are 2 co-founders, and we have 10 other members in our team. And our development team is outsourced, which work alongside with us. But my co-founder is also the CTO. He had an auction expertise in the past with the US-based company. So he's looking after the entire tech platform.
Right. Thank you.
Okay. What's the traction so far?
So we have onboarded 80 plus recyclers across the country. We have done POCs with 4 large corporates, including Godrej, TVS, and Fujitsu. We are in talks, and we are also in, we are working on integrating our SaaS platform with a large online retailer. So that will go live next month. And we have done multiple, auctions are created by the mid and the small sector. And we've also now gotten into textile waste, wherein we are helping garment manufacturing companies to transact their waste, cloth waste, onto our platform.
So any revenue so far, or the revenue predictability in the next quarter, or next quarter or something?
Yeah, so the revenue predictability for the next 6 months is 1.5 CR. We charge a 10% transaction fees from the auctions that we are created on our platform, plus a one-time integration, if we are integrating with a online retailer, and we also charge a subscription fees from our recyclers, which is 3, 6, and 12 months.
From what I understand, there is a marketplace that you enable for buyers and sellers, right? And there's an entire bidding tool that you bring on board, right? So there's a discoverability and then the bidding. And then finally, you also give a service layer, which is with the report that you offer, right? And what do you monetize here? I'm assuming that the report is just a value add and you don't monetize that piece.
At the moment, we are not monetizing it. Probably if the corporate wants a detailed report, we can give them at an extra cost. At the moment, we are connecting them to the closest recycler. That's that's our vision, to not let waste travel. We want to connect them to the closest recycler, as well as we are facilitating all this through our auction platform, and we are providing them the sustainability and impact report.
Right. If there are no other questions, thank you so much, Iram. Thank you to our judges. And now over to our next participant, Team Rocket Hub. Over to you.
Yes. Do you see my screen now?
Yes, the screen is visible. Yes, so present mode is on and your time begins now.
Okay, I'm Cam from the Rocket Hub. So do you know that more than 60% of SME food businesses in Thailand can't survive within 5 years? And this number is slightly getting higher during the COVID-19. And if this stock of late continue to increase without attempting to reduce from any organizations, there is impact economic growth, as this business cover 50% of hospitality industry GDP in Thailand. Currently, a lot of food SME try to survive and continue their business by opening their online store because there are significant growth in food delivery and social commerce by thinking that it will help them increase profit easily. However, in fact, it's not. So the Rocket Hub aims to help reduce the number of merchant job late and micro entrepreneurs to be prepared to the digital world and have ability to expand the business with low budget and grow sustainably. Basically, there are many factors that SME cannot handle and make them quit from the market. One of the main factors is that they cannot manage resource, financial at the beginnings. They sell a lot, but they don't see any profit. And when they jump to online world, there are more things to manage, like receive order from many online channel platforms like social media or food delivery platform. Or they have to face with the limitation of logistics in food industry as well, because it's different from sending normal product. Think about that, how it will mess up. And most of SME face human error every day because they do normal manually and they got no one to help suggest them on this. The Rocket Hub is here to help by providing the centralized distribution hub with consultant and staff to help shipping merchant product to their nearest consumer. It will reduce the cost time while it also increase consumer in many areas. Apart from hub, we will have the system to connect all hub together and have functions for SME to manage stock financial logistics easily. You might wonder if building hub may cost highly, but actually for us, it's not, because we are distributed hub focusing online delivery. So we don't need to be in the high traffic area. We can utilize and use that unused space in community and help them generate income. Moreover, we will also find hub partner like local restaurant who are willing to share revenue with us. So we are like a connector between local restaurant merchants to have better opportunity for their end consumers. In the future, we believe that our solution will create circling of food around the country. Moreover, by utilizing existing B2C platform like food delivery or social commerce, we also believe that this model can make into other regions and apply everywhere in the world to help other SME and local business to have opportunity to grow across the market and across the country as well, because we are the platform that try to serve B2B and help them to do well on online world and digital world, which is our future.
Apologies.
Our team. Yeah, thank you.
Apologies, Tawarat. Now over to our jury members.
Oh, so our team member, we have 3 co-founders. CEO is me. I have experience more than 5 years in B2B and B2C marketing platform and also e-commerce. And also another 2, one he has experience more than 6 years about the operations, management and business development. And also another one, she has experience in
apologies, Tawarat. Now
yes.
it's time for our jury to ask the questions.
Yeah.
Any questions from our jury members?
No, I'd love to hear more about the team. So please continue. That's great.
Oh, okay. So yes, as I mentioned, another one that's called Pat, she has experience in digital marketing more than 7 years. So with our team, we think that we can help to let local business go online, like grow online very well. Yes, that's our team.
Any further questions?
Actually, okay, yeah. You can
I have a question for you, Tawarat.
Yeah, please.
So I saw your slide that is talking about the road ahead, right? If you can, just you road ahead as in, the next 6 months, 1 year, you wanted to expand to the other regions within Thailand. If you can, walk me through that and say, what is the next 12 months looking like and how easy or difficult is it for you from an implementation, or what are the constraints or dependencies, to achieve that target you set for yourself?
So actually, I'm not sure I understand exact question, but to achieve the goals, we need to recruit and find more partners, like brand partner or merchant partner, to create the big communities, to let them have like power, negotiation power as well. And then if we have those communities, and then and after that, we will find orders, opportunities or partner outside Thailand, and share this learning as well. And because we have the system to connect each up together, so it's not hard for us as well to expand the hub, because we don't have to build hub by ourselves, but we partner with local restaurant anywhere. For example, in India, because it's just like kind of our business is similar to cloud kitchens, if you see, but we serve ready to eat food more, and we focus on local food more, and we don't have kitchens, so it's easier with the system as well. That is answer, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so good afternoon. Just wanted to check, how are you different from a typical food delivery service?
Okay, actually we are B2B. We are hub. We utilize delivery platforms, technology. So we are in the back end. So it means that brand or merchants can open their online store in food delivery platform in every applications, but use our hub as a location like the online benches without investing on the physical location that they need to sell in different areas. Because right now, every brand have faced high cost of delivery, because sometimes brand have factory far from the city, and the target is in the city. So how they can ship the food product in the city with cheaper cost, because they don't have any hub or people to help. So we try to help in different platforms to get that item closer to that consumer. So we kind of the back end helping, not compete with any food delivery platform. And with the system, we hope in the future we can connect the API through our delivery platform like OTA business, the hotel booking, and then you can use one and then brand or merchants can check the stock, right, and also performance from all channel that they have sell online. This is what the plan.
Thank you very much. I'm afraid this was the last question in terms of our timing. Thank you for your pitch and thank you for the questions to our jury members. And now over to our next participant from Hexpressions.
Thank you so much.
Hi, I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, the screen is visible and your time begins now.
Globally, over 1 billion people need a home today. And this number would go up to 1.6 billion by 2025. Good morning, everyone. I am Abhimanyu Singh, co-founder of Team Hexpressions, and we have a green construction technique to help those people. Construction industry needs to reinvent itself. It is the oldest industry, but unfortunately, this is the most conservative industry. This industry is still using age-old materials, methods, and processes. And we are challenging them by providing a new age construction system which uses recycled paper as a construction material. And our value proposition is to provide ready-to-assemble, cost-effective, fast, modular, and sustainable new age construction system. We call this as a wonder material. This wonder material is called composite paper honeycomb panel. This is a prefabricated technique, and these prefabricated panel has recycled honeycomb sandwiched between cement fiber boards. Essentially, it's a non-load-bearing structure, and that's a prefabricated technique. It's a patented process. It's a patented technique, and it is super cost-effective. It is super fast. It is modular in nature. It has very, very high insulation and acoustical values, and it is the only drywall in the market which is 100% eco-friendly. If we talk about the Indian market, we are looking at the potential market of India of 19 million households, and we are targeting 2.5% of that market. In terms of customer value proposition, Hexpressions is playing on two dimensions. One is time, second is cost. In terms of time, we reduce the time by 70% as compared to traditional construction methods. And in terms of cost for mass housing and mass housing projects, we'll be cutting the cost by 50% as compared to traditional methods. In terms of climate impact, as I mentioned, it's a drywall system. So that's why we reduce the water consumption by 90% than traditional construction methods in the manufacturing and as well as in the installation. As it's a modular system, it's a prefabricated system. We also reduce the construction residue by 90%. We reduce the CO2 emissions by 50%, and we use 100% recyclable materials. In terms of business, we have our key panel manufacturers. We have a contract manufacturing facility with them. We are closely working with intermediaries like architects and distributors because they are the influencers. Once they are convinced, it becomes easy to convince the client. And we are also closely working with real estate developers like RMG and Tata Housing. In terms of revenue model, we have a scalable revenue model that is B2B2C in the first phase. In the next phase, we'll be going B2C to have customized solutions for the consumer. In the last phase, we'll be licensing our technique for home as a service. We have $30,000 of traction till now. We have successfully completed over 15 pilots. We have 3 manufacturers on board. And in terms of the roadmap, we want to have a traction of $12 billion in the next 2 years. We want to have 200 projects completed. And we are getting a lot of inquiries for international expansion from Southeast Asia and the Gulf countries. Me and Shilpi are the co-founders. We are architects over a decade of industry experience, and we are a team of 5. It's been 2.5 years we have started this journey, and we have been able to secure over 16 awards globally. Thank you. Let's innovate the construction industry together.
Thank you very much. And now over to our jury members.
Hi, my name is Gautam here. Just wanted to check with you, are there certifications required before you go to market in this particular industry for this product?
Yes, we do require certifications, and the basic certification strength, tensile strength, and longevity. We have all the tests. We do not have the advanced tests. That's why we're looking for the funding for those tests.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Right. Wow, that's very quick. So thank you so much, Abhimanyu. And now over to our next participant. So our next participant will be from Team Xovian Aerospace. So over to the team from Xovian.
Is it visible?
Yes, the screen is visible. Your time begins now.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So talking about the problem first, so with the rising global trade, climate concerns, and demographic changes, so what is happening is that there is a lack of data around us, which is required for critical decision making by the governments and other organizations. So currently how the data is collected around us is with the help of two conventional infrastructures, which is basically terrestrial network and the space infrastructure. So with the terrestrial network, the problem is that it is very, very expensive and there is no real-time data which is being collected with the help of this type of network. So there is an inadequate data which is available, and the scattered data collection system approach is there. Basically, if you are establishing a terrestrial network to collect the nearby surrounding data, which is weather data and aviation data, maritime data, and other type of data sets. So you need to establish all these infrastructures at a different location. So each location might have a particular range in which the data is being collected, and some areas might be there where the data is not being collected. Then coming to the space infrastructure, so most of the satellites that are collecting the data today are based on the optical imaging. So either they are collecting the 2D images, multispectral or hyperspectral data, radar-based data, infrared data, or again, a lot of data sets are there which are lying on the optical spectrum. So what happens with the optical spectrum is that mostly the optical spectrum satellites are able to detect the changes that are happening on the Earth's surface. So when we say that global warming is happening, so there are sea level rising. So when we say that global warming is happening, the sea level rising is a consequence of the global warming, which is able to be detected by the optical satellites. But when we talk about these changes that are happening around us, these consequences and changes for these particular thing, the action took place 30, 40 years ago in the past. So let's say the actions that we are taking, there might be the consequences that we'll be seeing for the actions today, 30 years from now. So in order to detect these actions, we cannot use the optical imagery to detect what is happening on the Earth's surface or in the atmosphere. So this is why we come into play here. So with all these problems, there is a combined loss of $890 billion across industries globally every year, just because of this lack of data, which is unavailable today with the traditional data collection systems. So what we are doing at Zovian is that we are deploying a constellation of 66 satellites in the lower Earth orbit, which runs on the radio frequency. So how exactly it works is that it uses the radio frequencies from the other satellites and analyze how these frequencies interact with the atmosphere and the Earth surface, and in return provide the data related to our atmosphere and again the Earth surface. So basically the data that we are providing is basically Earth surface data, weather data, maritime AIS data, ADSB data related to the aviation. And single satellite is able to provide all the data sets collected by the terrestrial and conventional satellite systems. So we are targeting multiple industries with with these data sets. And this is our target market. Our target market is around $540 billion, and we are targeting $0.46 billion in next 7 years of this target market. So this is our revenue model.
Apologies, Ankit, the time unfortunately is up. So let us proceed to the questions from the jury.
Ankit, it's Gautam here.
Yes, sir.
The entire game of data is a chicken and egg problem, right?
Yes, sir. Right.
You need the capabilities to extract the data and then sell the data, in the form that they need. So how are you?
Yes.
What is your stage? Where are you? A little more background about the team running it, and where are you headed in the next 12 months?
Yes, so our team has already developed a satellite, which is in 2016. So we worked on a PISAT mission, which is India's only successful student satellite. So most of our team is from that team only. And we have ex-ISRO people with us with an experience of over 35 years in ISRO. So most of the team is ex-ISRO and have already worked on the satellite mission. And we have received over of around $95,000 in grants in last 2 years. And we have already tested our hardware, and patent has already been applied, which is in pending. And there is one more patent in line, and we were only we were one of the 8 participants, and which were invited to showcase the technology during Indo-US Defense Ties Conference. And overall, we are receiving support from various government agencies in terms of technical mentoring, as well as from the data procurement side as well. So we already had a talk with different customers, potential customers in various industries. So far, we have got around 8 customers on board, which are ready to test our data. And we are expecting to launch our first 2 satellites by the end of 2022. And currently, we are in a fundraise phase for that particular thing.
So Ankit, just wanted to confirm, are you I mean, so you have said Dhruva Space, which is also into nano satellites, right?
Yes, sir.
So they are doing it for their customers. You are doing it for yourself. Is that correct?
No, sir. We are launching the satellites, and the data from those satellites will be provided to customers via SaaS-based model.
Exactly what I said.
It's like a
You're not
service model.
launching those satellites for customers.
No, no. Yes, for ourselves only.
So the constellation will be your own asset,
yes.
And
yes,
the
sir.
data collected, you'll be using it to monetize it. You'll be
Yes.
selling it across.
Yes.
The insights
yes.
and the thing you'll be selling it.
Right, sir. Right.
So who's the typical customer for you for this?
So typical customer is maritime industry, aviation, then B2G is there, agriculture is there. Then after that we have oil and gas.
People doing it.
No, sir, there is no company that is
SpaceX
providing. There is no company that is providing radio data sets at the moment. Yes, there are companies that are tracking the aviation fleets, like Arion is there, then Spire Global is there, but there is no company that are utilizing this type of data to provide atmospheric data, surface level data, and again, aviation fleet and maritime fleet data sets. So all these data sets combined together, no company is providing. So the problem today is that when we talk about the aviation, let's say an airplane is going. So the company is getting the aviation data from a different company, then you are getting the weather data from a different company. So the problem that happens now is that weather data is being updated after 48-hour interval, because most of the weather satellites are either in geostationary orbit or medium Earth orbit. So that's why there is a discrepancy in data, and the predictions are not that accurate when we talk about the weather data. So in our case, we know that this is where the plane is currently, and for that surrounding, we already have that data set because we are collecting it with a single platform under a same roof. So that's why where this information is useful for logistics purpose, and most of the trade also happens to the maritime industry. There also it is very, very useful.
But just show your say financial slide very quickly. We can all have a look.
Yes, sir. So currently the companies are buying this type of data set as a subscription model from different companies like Weather Data and all at a $26,000 per month. So our data price is around $16,000 per month, which includes all the data sets combined. So there are different models that we have divided. Either if they want to go with the basic subscription, which includes the basic analytics, and if they want to go with the predictive analytics, there is a different plan for that as well. So that's how we are dividing our services based on different data sets and services that we are providing to different companies.
Okay. Okay. And what's your ask, or like?
So at the moment we are in process of around raising $3.25 million.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Team Zovian. I'm afraid the time is up.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Now let us proceed to our next participant from Adama Organic Solutions.
Okay, thanks. Hi, everyone. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, your time begins now.
Okay, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to introduce Adama Organic Solutions today. Adama was founded as a spin-off of King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, which is a world-class university based in Saudi Arabia. Adama is tackling the global issue of landfill pollution. Landfills are a major source of air, soil, and water pollution, and very costly to build and maintain without really bringing any benefits to our society. And the issue is becoming more critical every year. Only in the MENA region, waste is projected to increase by 70% by 2050. And organic waste is the major pollutant in landfill, contributing to 90% of the overall CO2 emissions. Many countries in the world and in the MENA region, like Saudi Arabia, are now working towards developing organic waste recycling regulations and infrastructure to stop these major issues. The good news is that organic waste can be looped back into our system to restore desert soils. And that's what we do at Adama. We convert organic waste into valuable soil improver products for desert agriculture, tree plantation, and land restoration projects. Our products support the conversion of arid lands into fertile soils. And by producing and supplying soil improver products locally, EDAMA supports the agricultural sector, building more resilient supply chain, enables tree plantation projects, fights water scarcity and desertification, and improves food security. Other waste management companies are typically concerned with reducing the amount of waste that ends up in landfill and produce very low quality and low value products. EDAMA has the scientific expertise and IPs required to convert organic waste into high quality products that are extremely valuable to restore local desert soils. And for this reason, we were able to build a strong brand equity during our time. At EDAMA, we design, build, and operate organic waste recycling facility for large to small communities and organizations. And we handle each project from ideation to execution. So from the feasibility study phase to the EPCM, operation and maintenance, and product sales and distribution. Our products are designed by our plant science experts to best answer to the needs of the local landscapers and farmers while keeping a competitive market price. Our products range from innovative soil humus that are rich in microbiome and derived from date palm waste. Our funding team is composed by myself with a PhD in statistics and strong background in sustainability and business management, Saud Ahabani, our business relations director with a background in engineering, and Mitchell Morton, our CTO, with a strong background in plant science and composting. And you can find us in the news if you like to look us up. With this, I'd like to conclude and open the floor for questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And now over to our jury members for the questions. In the meantime, also requesting our jury members to continue evaluating our startups while they're presenting and responding to the questions. And there has been a bit of a change of an order. We are still expecting the team from Future Lab Y to join us. Thank you. Apologies, Sabrina. Over to your Q&A session.
Thank you.
Any questions from our jury members?
Good afternoon, Sabrina. What's your scaling? How will you be scaling? How will you ramp up very fast? What will allow you to do that? What are the entry barriers you're putting in place for other competition?
Our business model is to build organic waste recycling facility at different locations to create a local circular economy. At the moment, we scale up from the pilot phase to the commercial scale. So we are now commissioning our first commercial scale facility, recycling 5,500 tons of organic waste every year. Our next step is to increase that by 20 times. So our next facility will be much larger. The scaling of the technology is not a concern because we already built a minimum viable scale, and it's a modular design that we are able to replicate and basically scale up.
Okay. And how will your revenues ramp up?
The revenues are deriving from two different business activities. First, we receive organic waste. So to receive organic waste, we get paid a fee, which is called gate fee. And it's normally a certain amount per ton of waste received. And this ranges from the country we are in because of regulations. But in Saudi Arabia, for example, is about to increase from $2 to $10 per ton in the next 2 years. And we also derive revenue from our product sales. So we sell to downstream markets like landscapers and farmers. So our revenue ramps up as our production capacity increases. So as we move from, for example, right now, 5,000 to 50,000, we'll have a significant increase in revenue. And we will also be able to benefit from the economy of scales in our facility, because the larger the production, then the more we can benefit in terms of like operation cost and CapEx as well.
And any plants that are running right now? which are doing what you are saying?
We have been operating our pilot facility for now 3 years, and we
How
are.
large is it?
Sorry?
How large is it? What is the capacity?
Pilot facility was producing 150 tons per year, so very small scale, but it gave us the opportunity to develop our product and processes and IPs, and to sell the product in the local market, receiving a very encouraging answer from the customers. And now we are commissioning. So in November, actually, we will start operation of our commercial scale facility. And we already are in contact with several and negotiation with several mega projects and government entities, municipalities to build additional composting facilities in Saudi Arabia and the UAE.
Got it. Thanks.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Right.
Yeah. Hey,
Sure.
Sabrina, is there access to non-dilutive capital in the sense of grants or other possible, over time you may need a lot of capital to build some of this out. Have you thought of other pools of capital that may be available?
Yes, indeed, that is one of our main challenges, raising the capital that we need to build these composting facilities, because the projects are capital intensive. So we currently have interested investors in our facilities, and also local partners that can support, because what we do is providing a service for example, the food industries that need to recycle their organic waste. So we're partnering with local industrial city administrators that are interested in improving the environmental performance of the industries. That's one example. We're also partnering with the ministry in Saudi Arabia, because they are obviously interested in helping the municipalities to develop organic waste recycling infrastructure. And ultimately, this will lead to cost benefit for municipalities and actually increase revenue if they participate in a public-private partnership.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm afraid the time is up. Thank you for your pitch. And now over to our next participant from N1 Limited. Team N1 Limited, over to you. Hello.
Can you listen to me?
Yeah, you're perfectly audible.
Okay, thanks. You can see my screen?
Yes, your time begins now.
Okay, thank you. Hi, everyone. This is Collins from Amel Limited, and we are based in Hong Kong. And we're building the future sporting experience using AI, 5G, and XR. In golf market, there's like 3 leading brands, and this is very expensive, and there are lack of interaction across the system. What we do is, our solution is, we create a mobile golf simulator. In our core technology, we use computer vision. We obtain the motion data like the ball speed, launch angle, spin rate, by using the data to project the path of the golf ball. And then potentially, we can capture and project the path of different kind of other balls. In the golf market, there's like over 23 million new users every year. What we do is we cut costs to a few dollars per month so that everyone can just play this game or this golf app. And then we reduce the space requirement to 1 square meter, which is like everyone can play in their garage. In the golf market nowadays, there is like short vision, and it's a ball launch monitor, and there are over 82,000 US annual income on Apple Store. And this is the potential that we can have it. We are high mobility, accurate, and everyone can affordable, and the connectivity is very good. For our business model, there's like B2C and B2B. For B2C, it's around $5 US per month. so everyone can just play for it because it's cheap. And then we got like in-game purchase, we got like tournaments, and for B2B, there's like there's like advertisement income, and then we got like cup data collect so that we can sell it back to the manufacturers, and we have club SEO. For our company highlight, our COO is actually the director of Sino Golf Manufacturing, and it is the third largest golf equipment manufacturer. And all of us are come from game industry and golf industry. We are supported by Hong Kong Science Park. We did like 230,000 angel fundraising for US dollars, and we did like beta release. We got the golf ball launch monitor, and after we will go for fundraising. At the end, we will integrate with AR glasses. And what we did is we use computer vision to track and measure the motion in reality. Afterward, we will go for 3D simulations. And at the end, we will use AR glasses to replace the traditional projector screen. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now over to our jury members. Any questions from our jury?
Is Gautam here? I have a quick question for you.
Yes, please.
When you start selling to the ultimate user, which is probably someone who's interested in golf or trying to learn golf, what will you be actually selling to him? Is it a mix of product plus access to software?
Okay, actually, our app is an app, right? So everyone has a mobile phone, and if they have a requirement mobile phone, they are able to download the app for free, and then they can try it out. And if they are looking for a subscription, and then they can have like more game mode and more maps. And what they do is, let's say, what your question is like for a beginner or as a new user, they never play golf. And it's like, you can imagine it's like a video game. It's a golf game you never played before. And then for a professional, they will look for like further data. But for new beginners, they can learn golf from it, and they can enjoy it.
And where does the data get captured from? Is it from the mobile of the user, which is kept before? Or
actually,
how does the data get captured?
Actually, what we do is when you hit the ball, you will put the mobile phone in front of you. Then you will capture the whole motion and the ball flight, so we can able to track the whole data. Yeah.
Got that. And what is the stage of the product now in terms of your product build development?
What do you mean?
Have you started building the product?
Actually, we have finished the first ball launch monitor. That's why what we are doing is we will launch the ball golf monitor out, and we will get like feedbacks, we will get like data back, and we will do adjustment. We will synchronize with other ball launch monitor for, let's say, more specific or accurately, and then we will implement with AR glasses later. We are actually able to do it already. If you don't mind, I can show you one of what we are doing already.
Do you have some beta customers?
Excuse me?
Do you have any beta customers? Do you have any customers who are already using your product?
Not yet.
So,
we just start our beta release this month.
okay.
Yeah, and there's like a different kind of investor wanted to see how it goes, and even there's a partnership about, because there's a US partner about he has already launched different kind of, and he has different license of the launch monitor from the whole US, and he's think that our product can be spread around the world, and he's very interested if if he partner with us and he will help us on the marketing part. So this part is quite useful for us, I would say. And then let me try to show the monitor to you guys. If you guys can see.
Yes.
Yes. See? And the monitor is actually projecting already. And we are able to use it already. It's already tracking the ball path, and the data is allowed. And all we need is just make it to a game.
Right.
Okay. Just one quick question. Is
Yes.
it targeted more towards people who are starting out, or is it targeted to people who are already proficient in playing golf?
Actually, we target everyone because the expensive one should be target for professional only, because they need money to buy it and they want more accuracy, right? But for us, we are very easy to entry, and we can set up very easy in the garage, so everyone can start to learn to play it, and we can connect it all over the world. Let's say iOS system, Android system, people can just download it and try it out.
Right. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, the time really is up. Thank you for your pitch. And now over to Team Baz.
Hi. Hi, everyone. This is Chitresh, founder and CEO at Baz. Is my screen visible, if you can confirm?
No, not yet. Not yet. Now it is. Yeah.
It
Perfect.
is, right? Awesome. Great. I'd just like to tell everybody a small story. I was planning to get married in 2019, and right before we were doing that, my to-be wife was looking for buying products for the bridal wear. And while she was trying to do that, she looked for stores in the city we were living in. We couldn't find something meaningful, so she started looking for alternative cities where we could buy these products, and she walked into websites. We couldn't obviously go there to the cities, but started looking for the online purchase options, and we couldn't generate enough interest to buy those products just by looking at photos. So we reached out to them, and they suggested, why don't we do like a WhatsApp video call? And those WhatsApp video calls went on for about an hour or so. And to my surprise, my wife ended up buying those products. And obviously, in the entire process of this whole purchasing thing, we realized the commerce angle was missing from the content generation, and that's basically how we got the idea for building Buzz. We believe interactivity is eating e-commerce. I put together a team which basically comes from. I've been an entrepreneur second time. First time I got a chance to get an exit. I have team from University of Texas, IIT in India, and Singapore Management University, and we've raised a small round of seed capital. We believe the market is absolutely massive. It's been already proven that in interactive commerce, China is leading the charts. They're doing pretty high volumes of transactions, and multiple other countries are adopting it similarly. Interactivity is slightly different than traditional commerce. Traditional commerce revolves around search. It's very transactional and less trustworthy, whereas the interactivity is more towards discovery, recommendation. It has an element of entertainment and community and more trustworthiness. And overall, it's a value for money, not just like a transactional trade-off between the buyer and the seller. So e-commerce, as we know it, is fairly boring, expensive, and lacks trust. And some of the guiding thoughts, like suggesting why that is the case, is because average conversion rates are 2.86. This is the global figure. Globally, we are spending about $550 billion on just the return orders fulfillments, and the return rates are at about 30% globally, which is fairly high. The solution we think is that what if we could combine e-commerce with interactive storytelling? This would solve lots and lots of issues for the merchants who are currently facing these kind of things. So interactive storytelling is a concoction or a combination of videos, live videos, in-video cataloging, in-video checkouts, and whole suite of things, which we combine into a single offering and provide that to merchants in a no-code SaaS kind of offering. This helps them reduce return rates, higher average order values, and 10x the add to cart and conversion rates. This is how a traditional e-commerce website would look like. After using bars, this is how it could look like. So we have one-to-one live video shopping, there is one-to-many interactive shopping, and then there is pre-recorded video related interactive shopping. We have two types of product. One is called Air, which is a one-to, time is up, okay. I'll just quickly, this is my last slide, basically.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chitresh. Over to our jury members for the questions.
Hey, Chitresh, can you tell us more about the team?
Yeah, sure. Shall I take you back to the... Yeah, so that's me. I've been a part of the startup called Playlife. We built it right from college. I dropped out of college to build a startup. Built it for about 4 years, got a chance to exit from that. Ruben is my co-founder and CTO. He went to University of Texas, worked in US for quite some time before returning to India for good. And that's when we started working together. Shobit is a dear friend. He went to IIT. He was one of the early team members of Hike Messenger, which is a very popular messaging app in India. And he right after that, he joined Byju's. So he's single-handedly been involved in the video and tech space for the last 7 years. And he's built quite a bit of the Byju's infrastructure that we know of today. And then, Akhilesh basically went to SMU. And he's the guy who's studied data science and been in the data science field for quite some time. So that's basically the composition of our team. And everybody is almost about 8 to 10 years into working. We are almost of the same age, everyone.
Chitresh, congratulations, first of all. That was massive growth that you've shown in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
What has worked for you in the last 6 months to show such a massive growth?
Yeah, sure. I think the most important thing is the speed with which we execute. The second is the rate at which we experiment. I think that is slightly counterintuitive, but we go out of our way to experiment quite a lot. So just as a data point, as an experiment, what we did was January to February to March to April, we did not have a product for one-to-one, right? We only had like a one-to-many kind of offering, which was resulting into a very steady kind of pace of growth. But because of one-to-one, our growth kind of accelerated month on month. People were doing like very, very large volumes of transaction. So as an example, we've had a merchant do like a B2B transaction of 13 lakh rupees in a single video call. Just for international context, 13 lakh rupees is somewhere close to about 18,000 USD. that was pretty high volumes. So that is one. Then we keep working with customers. Our customer success is very high. Like customers rate us very heavily. So because of that, they end up recommending quite a bit as well. So our referral program works out pretty well for us to get more merchants on board as well. So that has largely contributed to our exponential growth.
So Chitresh, can we assume that you're more of a social commerce? Something like a couple of social commerce apps already existing, but you're completely reimagining the video angle to it or the live commerce angle to it, right? Because you're a marketplace at the end of the day, right?
So here's the thing: we are not a marketplace, right? We're basically a non-marketplace place kind of offering that allows the entire backbone infrastructure that is required to do the video shopping bits. So we are kind of like Shopify, but video shopping at the center of everything, right? Our typical merchant would be somebody who's selling, let's say, a 30,000 or 50,000 rupees lehenga in the Chandni Chowks of Delhi potentially. And because these are high-end products, they cannot sell using a website, right? So that's where we fit in. So and the other one is basically somebody who's trying to do like a B2B kind of trade. And additionally,
does he sell under your name or does he sell under their name? How do you fit in exactly from an ultimate consumer point of view?
Right. So they sell it under their name. So we create like a PWA, like a progressive web app, which they can pass it on to their customers, and the customers shop from their storefront, which is labeled and branded of their own store name. Right. And we've sold about 23,000 products since January, and as of this point, we've had 0 returns as of this point. Just to kind of give you a context,
How many merchants, Chitresh?
We have about 2,800 merchants.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Right. This, I'm afraid, is the last question. Anything from you, sir? Any questions, Mr. Johari? So thank you so much, Chitresh. And
sure.
Last but not least, over to our final participant of the day, Team Future Lab Y. Over to you.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for joining, Hassan.
Thank you. Okay, so let's start.
Your time starts now.
Yeah, according to FDI, the number of dentists worldwide estimated to be 1.5 million. Some countries was able to achieve a high ratio between the dentist and population to be 1 to 2,000, for example, in USA, but some countries failed to have more than 1 to 25,000 per one dentist. Studying dentistry used to be one of the most expensive, time-consuming, and really stressful university majors. So that's why we decided to develop a technical solutions for those students. We are a startup building virtual labs for dentistry students, so we help them to have a proper educational experience. By our virtual lab, they will be able to navigate the tools and learn about it before they start learning, and start navigate the experiments that we are trying to that we developed so far, and have all the information with them before they start learning and practice. And by using augmented reality, they will be able to see the experiment and interact with it efficiently, and they will be able to, let's say, see the experiment many times from different angles and many other things. And by with the explanatory system, they will don't miss anything. So they will be knowing every information at the right time. Our target market, for example, in Syria, estimated to have 2,000 dentistry students, and our next market that we are trying to move, Iraq, is have nearly 4,000, and in the MENA region, we estimate the number to be 25,000 dentistry students. As you know, our market will be dentistry students, where we targeting them by normal or usual app platforms like App Stores and Google Play, and they can pay for experiments as a subscription. I have many competitors like Labster, one of our worldwide competitors, or Praxilab, competitor from the MENA region, but we have the difference between them and between us and them is we supporting Arabic language, and we targeting dentistry, and also we have augmented reality technology. Me, the co-founder, Hassan Dayoub, and I'm AI community leader and machine learning developer, and Tahir Hassan, our CTO and game developer. By using our application, you will be able to decrease the cost of learning by 25% and the required time to learn by 40%. And we have so far more than 1,000 users and more than 20,000 of minutes of usage and 60 experiments. We have been recognized and supported by many communities and many organizations locally, MENA region, and worldwide. We are looking actually for accelerators and to grow our network and have advisors, because we're still developing, we are still planning for other labs, because dentistry have more than 10 labs to develop. And I want to thank you. Thanks.
Thank you very much. The time is up, and now over to our jury members for the questions.
So good afternoon. You have a gaming background, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is not that a larger market as compared to a dentistry market? learn this?
Yeah, actually, we started from a real problem existed in my country in Syria, where we actually are not able at universities to upgrade our labs. So we had to find a solution that could help us providing better educational experience for those students and students from similar let's say situations. So this is what the reason why we started from dentistry, and actually we're trying to do a proof of concept for augmented reality based educational technology first, and after that we can move and add other labs and maybe other university majors.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I have a question to you, Hassan. First of all, great stuff, right? Coming from, your gaming background, utilizing it for a very niche education industry, in my view, is amazing. What has been the feedback that you've received so far? Have you tested it out or had conversations with dentistry students so far?
Yeah, actually, when we developed the application, we had a partnership with one of the dentistry schools in Syria named Shin University, where they provided us with more than 20 domain experts, PhD holders, teacher assistants, and also students. We have tested our application on many stages, and also have conducted a report with a Rotary organization where they helped us to split the university students into two groups and test the efficiency of the application, and the numbers that I've showed are from their report. So yeah, we have more than 1,000 users so far, and we updated our special user experience many times because augmented reality is still new and we don't have that much of user experience rules to use. So yeah, this is what we have done.
Right. Anything else? Right. Thank you so much. And this is our final pitch for the day. And again, thank you all to our participants, and thank you to our jury members as well for your expertise. And now we will request our jury members to proceed to another breakout room to deliberate on the results. You will just be receiving a separate invitation for that. And in the meantime, for our participants, just a very quick announcement. We will be showing you a couple videos that will let you understand the ESG and the ESG ecosystem better, and also that a video that would also speak about the well-to-do list, which is an initiative in line with the UN SDGs, and ESG is proud and happy to be a global accelerator for that. So now the jury members will be receiving an invitation shortly. So requesting the jury members to proceed to the jury room, and in the meantime, requesting the team members to take care of our participants. Another quick announcement is that today we will be selecting 2 participants of all the marvelous pitches that we had today to be proceeding to the global pool of the Entrepreneurship Sports Generation competition to be further selected to the global finals. So with that, over to my team members.
Short announcement.
It's got everything you expect from big sport, passion, fierce competition, fans, cities pitted against cities, countries competing against countries, loyalties and support.
Hi, in the meanwhile, I would request you all to please paste your social media handles on the chat so that we can keep a tab on that and tag you in our upcoming posts and announcements related to Asia Confederation Finals. I would also request my colleague to note all of that down in a separate document. Thank you.
Right, so now that our jury members are back from their deliberation, we are moving closer to proceeding with our announcement. And we're actually proceeding to the exciting part. So as mentioned, we will be having 2 participants of today's event who will be proceeding to a global pool of startups to be further evaluated by our internal experts, and then potentially proceed to the global finals of the ESG competition. But in the meantime, thank you all so much once again for your participation and time. Each of you and your pitches have been a wonderful, marvelous contribution to our event today, and we would really like to wish you all the best in your future endeavors. And thank you again to our jury members for their time. So we're just making a couple final arrangements in terms of our announcement. And wonderful. So we're actually nearing to that. Also requesting to make the respective spotlight arrangements before we announce, so that we could proceed. So, right. So moving closer to our announcement, our first winner of the day would be Team Buzz. Congratulations. Congratulations on making it. And thank you so much for your participation. And our second participant that will be proceeding further in our competition will be Team Adama. Thank you so much for your participation. Once again, thank you, Sabrina, for your pitch. So these will be the 2 participants that are the winners of the day. You will be informed about the next steps shortly. And in the meantime, thank you again to all our entrepreneurs, and thank you very much. And just, a couple parting words perhaps from our winners of the day. So if there's anything, Chitra and Sabrina, that you would like to say, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, I'm just very excited to move to the next step and the opportunity to get to know even more startups globally that are committed to the sustainability mission. And yeah, thank you so much. I'm really honored to be part of this.
Thank you very much, Sabrina. Maybe anything from Team Buzz? Right. So perhaps with that, perhaps there are a couple parting words that we could hear from also Mr. Johari and Gautam as our jury members. We'd definitely love that. Perhaps a couple advice that you could give to our participants.
Gautam, please go ahead.
Sure, Manish. Thank you so much to the entire ESG team. And it was wonderful, spending the last 90 minutes with all of you, listening to all the pitches. So my first thoughts, very, very interesting set of startups that pitched today. And all of you are winners, having come all the way into today's, pitch. In fact, I did mention to the ESG team that, some of you may have won, some of you may not, but there are a couple of startups that I would love to definitely work with on behalf of the roles that I play in the ecosystem. So I would stay in touch with some of you and see how we could work together. But on that note, I think these are the kind of platforms that are very important, which helps us unearth startups that otherwise we would not know, right? Because I honestly haven't met any of the founders that pitched today, and there are a few of them I would love to work with very closely. And that's thanks to the ESG team. Thanks for creating a platform like this. For founders, I think it's worth your time. These kind of events are worth your time because you don't know who you're going to be meeting and what kind of doors that are going to be opening, right? The visibility it gives you, and each time you present, each time you pitch, you become a better version of yourself, right? Because A, if there's someone who gives you feedback, or B, you yourself figure out what came out well in your story because ultimately as a founder, your role is to be good at storytelling, right? You need to convince an investor, you need to convince the jury, you need to convince a potential customer with the story of value that you're creating, right? So on that note, for a lot of you or all of you, the journey really begins now, and being an entrepreneur is a long-term journey. So my best wishes to all of you, and we will all stay in touch as you scale this journey.
Thank you very much, Gautam, for the valuable words. And we see our one of our actually winners rejoining us today. Chitraj, congratulations on proceeding to the next round, actually. So, Mr. Jahari, a couple words from you, perhaps?
So, like, as I say to every startup founder that I meet, a startup is a temporary organization looking for a repeatable, scalable, sustainable business model. Okay. And that journey is basically about finding the right fit. And as Gautam said rightly, you hear our feedback and you flip, you pivot. I mean, I've seen so many of people who have presented to us. They have, say, pivoted, and many of them are now Soonicorns right now. Okay. And many of our founders who had pitched to us in a totally different format, and we rejected, are, in an anti-portfolio of ours. And right now we are thinking, should we have advised them earlier a little bit and, funded them? And yes, so each one of you is a winner, actually, to have come to this stage. And feel free to reach out to us. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can reach out to us. You want India as a market, you want any help, advice, please reach out to us. Maybe we don't answer immediately because of the time constraints, but surely we'd love to help you guys in whatever way and form that we have. And Chitresh and Sabrina, hearty congratulations for moving on to the next stage. Wishing you all the best. Hope you'll do Asia proud and reach the world, scale. And one of the most important things, many people ask me, what is the most important thing that investors look at? And as Gautam said, the scaling velocity, if you have mapped that, if you have tamed that beast, then anyone would be, happy to look at you. And I think that's why Chitresh is having a big grin on his face. Okay, so yes. So all the best to say all of you, and especially to Sabrina and to Chitresh and the BAS team and the EDAMA Organic Solutions team. So good luck to you. And Team ESG, phenomenal effort, and look forward to many more such events wherein you help spot the right kind of startup talents and the founders. Look forward to that and being part of those.
Thank you very much, sir, for the kind and valuable words and for the insights. And with that, we would like to close our event for today and wish everyone a wonderful day or evening ahead, depending on your time zone. And best of luck to our two participants in moving forward. Thank you all.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.